Hey guys, BJ and Game Day back here. Brent Hampton, Josh King, recapping round 6 and looking forward to round 7. And it was a pretty brutal round 6, Brent. A few injuries across the park, a lot of teams affected, and just some overall not good scores with Supercoach. So, how'd you go, pal?
Shocker this week, worst week for me so far this season. It was at 873, so it actually was better than I thought it was going to be come Sunday. Blew out about 600 plus spots in the rankings, so I've stayed in the top 1,000 somehow. 795, and I'm very surprised by that. I thought I was going to be in the thousands, but I guess that's a reflection of the week for everyone.
Poorly everyone, mate. Yeah.
Yourself?
Mate, 944, so, you know, nothing to write home about. I got to Sunday sort of watching the Penrith game and when they started to kick on, but, you know, the guys I had, Kickow, Mansell getting injured, James Fisher-Harris, no one really performed. It was nice to get above 900 once the Turbo boys, you know, scored a few points, but yeah, pretty tough week, mate. I slipped from about 7,500 to 9,000, so not too bad. But definitely want to look forward this week.
It's pretty interesting though, as we talk about the rankings, you can see I've only slipped out about 600 spots.
Yep.
You've got a better score and you've slipped out 2,400 spots.
Yeah,
so I don't know how that works, but it's just bizarre.
But with the BJ and Game Day League, Marty Lau from last place has had the best score. Now I think he's still sitting back there, but Marty picked up 1,045, so well done, Martin.
Yeah, good work.
And the league, we've jumped from 126 to 94. So I think only 2 out of the league scored over 1,000, and we've managed to jump up around about 30 spots.
Good to see Marty bounce back after a game with a stick last week too. So now I think it's back on me to pick it up because I was probably the underperformer. But well done, Marty. Huge week and.
Definitely, mate, definitely. We talked about, obviously, a massive casualty list over the weekend. My boys, Cronulla, probably the most affected out of anyone, but Penrith had a few go down as well. You know, blokes like Paul Gallen, Andrew Fafita, Mansell we mentioned. I mean, the list goes on, really, from the weekend.
Jai Arrow, another one that probably stung us, and a bit of a concern there, the back spasms. I don't know the inclination of those to sort of be recurring either. So
it's an injury. Look, I've had back spasms in different things, and it's just an injury that just comes back again and again. You can never sort of know when it rears its head. So hopefully they can get that sorted. Obviously, the good professional staff at the Gold Coast Times get it done. Matty Lodge, another one, mate. He had a rib injury in the Warriors game.
Yeah, so there's a few interesting ones just on that. There's been Matty Lodge, rib cartilage, ended up coming back on in that game, played on. He's been named this week as well. So same with Fafita. Obviously, that was rumoured to be 2 to 4. He's been named again.
I can't see how he's going to play. Like, you look at the guy at the end of the game on crutches. I saw on his Instagram today he had the pulse machine on his leg. Like, mate, if that bloke plays this week for Cronulla, I don't know what's going on with injuries nowadays.
It's no point risking him at this point. I think he could just do more damage in the long run. They surely can't risk him, and because I don't have him. So
I mean, look, Cronulla are 2 and 4, so it's not dire straits yet. But I guess it does give you a chance from a coach's point of view to blood a few young guns. You know, they got Kurt Dillon and a few others there. You know, Capewell gets a starting spot. So, yeah, it's not the end of the world, but it's definitely, you know, a bit of a tough time for Cronulla.
Definitely.
Matty Gillette, obviously last week, before we went to air, Matty Gillette had come out. He's had a broken neck since round 1. Like, credit to the guy. Big props to him. How can you play through 5 weeks of NRL footy? You know, these are the biggest, baddest guys in our country hitting each other for 80 minutes, and this guy's playing with a broken neck. Yeah,
absolutely phenomenal. I mean, normally I don't like to give Queenslanders too much of a rap, but you can't really fault the bloke. It's a bit of a shame. He's obviously one of the integral parts of that Brisbane side, but he's it looks like he's going to be missing for quite a while. So it's a big loss for Brisbane, but maybe it opens the door for someone like Sewer.
He looked good.
He actually played quite well on the weekend.
He really looked good on that right edge. He straightened up the Broncos' attack near the line. He scored that try that was pretty easy. So maybe a sign of things coming for the Broncos. Yeah,
and obviously Bird playing in the halves that game. I think they actually looked a whole lot better with Bird out there on that right edge. They actually chimed together really well. So
what I love about the Broncos with Bird at half is not actually him at half. It's that Nickaroom is going to come off the bench. If he comes on as that utility, we've seen it for the last couple of seasons. He comes on with 25 to go. He's the quickest bloke on the park in the first 15, 20 minutes, 20 metres, and he rips teams apart.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good matchup. See this weekend they'll take on Melbourne.
Yep.
And I like that off the cuff play that sort of Jackie Bird brings, and guys like Nicarima and that link up out on that right edge of say Bird and Roberts. It's going to be a really interesting matchup out there. I'm hoping we get a foot race between maybe Roberts and Ed O'Carr.
Oh,
they're both
it's the dream we always love to see. Yeah,
that'd be nice. But yeah, we'll see what happens. For a good matchup this week, mate.
This week we're just going to go through some buy holds and sells, guys. Fairly simple. We're going to run through. Obviously, there's a lot of buys this week. A lot of potential guys in different positions that you can get into the team. How do we fit them all in? If you've got most of these guys already, you are absolutely laughing because the money's just going to pile up. Start us off, mate. Who's the biggest buy for the week?
Biggest buy, I'm going to start it off. I'll premise it with, if you're looking for some cash and some big increases, Riley Jacks is an obvious one. Playing his third game this weekend, it looks like he's secured that half spot for Melbourne. I can't see him losing.
For the meantime, definitely.
Massive negative 58 break even.
Yep.
He's sitting around that just under 260k. He's going to make more money than... There's a few guys there like Marshall King, if you've got him, or even Croker, straight away in this first rise, even if he runs out and gets injured in the first 5. I guess the only issue with that one is if you're going to go, say, a Croker to him, thinking about the buys, so Croker will play round 13. So if you've got that one there, it's sort of you got to weigh it up.
And that's the other thing we look at now. Obviously, all the news has come out about Jackson Hastings. Croker looks like he's just got the 6 for 80 minutes here on out. Yeah,
absolutely. So there was a couple games there where he was getting hooked. Wasn't playing 80, so I guess that's a good sign. And Marshall King. I mean, the Dogs won't play 12, and I think you'll make some money if you go Marshall King to Jacks. So I think that's a smart trade if you need to make it. I actually can't do it this week. As much as I wanted to, and I even called sort of last week that was going to be the big trade of this week. I've got some other priorities, so that one can't happen for me. What about yourself? You got a key one?
Mate, the one I'm really looking at is Jason Tamalolo. Obviously, last week was the first big week that he performed. But even just watching that game, forget about Supercoach scores. He finally did on a football field what we've seen him do for the past couple of years. You know, he was busting tackles left, right, and centre, big metres gains. This week he's definitely one I'm going to bring in. Still deciding on who I drop to bring him in. Whether it's Tavita. Tavita really disappointed me last week. Whether the hemi's still bothering him. But look, Tamalolo covers round 13, proven gun. What we saw from him last week, in the next week or two, you've got to bring him in. You just have to. It's just the smart play to do.
Yeah, and as you said, round 13, you pretty much got to have him. You can't be a pod in round 13, and chances are he's going to be keeper till the end. So you get him in now or in next week, and it's set and forget.
Another one a lot of people are talking about is Jack Gachoyski. I don't know how to say it, guys. From the Manly Sea, the Goss, Manly Sea Eagles. Look, Manly are a team that really sort of confusing me this season. Obviously, they had that massive win against Para. They've looked good in a lot of games. I'm not too sure whether this Jackson Hastings thing is sort of what's putting them off, but Goz has obviously looked good. His points per minute is pretty average, but he got 80 last week. It looks like he's going to get that again. I think that's why a lot of people are jumping on him at 192k, just for that sort of couple of weeks of price rises. Me, I'm just looking elsewhere. At the moment, I can't see him as a trade-in just at the moment. I'll probably miss the boat on him, but I'm going to leave him alone myself.
I think he's just there for that, create a bit of cash if you need to. If you want to look at getting rid of a Lodge or a TPJ or a Rocco this week or someone like that, he just offers that guy to go to who should play 13. He might only get you 40 points, who knows, but I think he's just a bit of a cash grab.
Fair enough. Mate, the other bloke I'm looking at bringing this week, and purely because I've got Joshy Mansour, and Mansour's out for 4 to 6 weeks with the broken cheekbone, is his Penrith other winger, is Christian Crichton. He looks solid. He just looks hungry. You look at him on the park, look, the scores aren't that great, and I don't think they're going to be this great this season, but he just looks hungry. He's going to pop up with the try here or there. A bit of a price rise last week, which I missed, but I'll bring him in this week, hopefully make another sort of 80 to 100k over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, mate, I actually had the closest look I've been able to have a look at him since he started, so And you're right, I think the enthusiasm's great, and he looks like a bit of a handful. Whilst, like I said, the scores haven't been great, I think that was his first try on the weekend.
Yep.
There's still some cash to be made on him, negative 15 break even this week. He's only 214k, so you're still getting a bit of value there, and I think he's going to have that spot now that Mansour's out for a bit longer. It generates a bit more potential for him there, and I totally agree. I think he looks very, very keen, which is good. Maybe that'll translate into scores over the next few weeks. But
any other buys, mate?
I've got a couple. Probably something a bit different. If you're looking for something a bit different that might not be on the radar, I've noticed Penny Terapo from Parramatta.
Yeah.
He seems to have secured a starting spot, and he's averaging 50 in his first 3 games, so he didn't start the season. He's got a break even of 6. He's around 300k. Should play 13. I don't know if Nathan Brown being out might affect that, but something a little bit different maybe if you're looking for something different.
Who knows with Para at the moment?
Yeah, I think he offers some duality between the front row and the second row. There's something a little bit different there. I'm not looking at it, but just something out there.
Yep.
Outside backs, probably Josh Adokar.
Yep.
So I know his scores again haven't been very reliable, but for 330k, if you need to go to someone that, I mean, he's about 300k and you could do much worse.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about those outside backs, because obviously Melbourne looked like they hit a little bit of form last week against your boys. Adokar, Vunivalu, Rapana and James Roberts. They've all dropped massive numbers since the start of the season. They all are a lot more accessible now. If you've got blokes like obviously Philip Semi is going to have a big sell week this week with his break even. These are guys who, you know, come the end of the year, they're going to score 15 or 20 tries. They'll turn it on eventually. It's just which one of the 40 you go.
Yeah, exactly, mate. And I think that it's inevitable if you do pick these guys that there's going to be weeks where they'll score 20 or 30 points, which is annoying. But you're picking them because they've got that potential to score hundreds, 100 pluses. The averages might level out to be 50, 60 throughout the season, hopefully, so it all levels out in the end. It's just one of those things, you just hope the one week that they can both get it right, or a few of them can get it right in that same week. Ideally, you buy them low for that reason. You don't want to be buying Rapana for 600k because look what's happened.
Exactly.
Buying Rapana for 480k is a much different prospect. So it's still pricey, but it's all about that buying at the right time sort of thing. And those guys are all ready to be bought right about now. So have a good look at them if you're looking for something. If you've got a Mansour or a Sammy, I think you need to have a good look at a few of those guys and take a punt.
Who's a hold another week, mate?
For me, I've heard a lot of talk about people wanting to get rid of Lodge. Maybe it's partly due to the injury, which is fair enough, but I think a 37 break even, I see him getting that if he plays again, so I still think he's a hold. He's not gonna. I can't see him getting under that if he runs on. Robbie Rocco will be another one. I don't think he's a sell. He's got a 59 break even. He is quite sort of. I think he's mid 400s. I think he's a hold to around 13. Unless you're looking really good, I think you've got to hold him till 13. That being said, potentially he does drop to mid 300s before around 13 or less because he has scored a try in the last couple of weeks. You got to weigh it up. I think you got to really start having a look at how many players you can have in the park for 13.
Rocco's a tough one because at the start of the season I sort of spruiked him and he was someone I had at the start. I dropped him pretty early and I'm kicking myself for that. But he's someone that just seems to be banging out that sort of 45 to 65. That's not a bad player to have on your bench. He may leak a little bit of cash over the next sort of weeks, but he's going to cover that buy round. I just think there's other people you can get out before him.
And he's not flashy. He's nothing like he's not going to score mounts of tries. But for his price, he's playing 80 minutes. Like you can't really complain. Has that duality. I know it's not great having him in your 17 if you've got to, but you could be doing worse. I reckon, so. And just a quick shout out anyone that held a Sarko. Well done.
Fuck yeah. Sorry.
Two break even this week, so well done to anyone that held, including myself. That was one.
George Jennings, you better score a double this weekend. Para, you got to do something. Please numb the pain, please.
And I do want to ask your thoughts on JT. Is he a hold?
Look, JT's killing me, as he is most other people. I've had him since the start. I looked, I saw value, I was wrong. The big thing for me is that this week is the Titans, and in round 13 he plays. Look, I'm a victim of having him from the start, and I've got to keep him. I'm just looking at it. I think I won't forgive myself if I drop him and he tons up and he goes big. You never doubt a champion, which he is. We know how good a player he is. You're in my team. I'm holding you. Run the ball, score a friggin' try, do something, mate, please.
And I think it could be getting to now. I mean, we all know how great of a player he is, but I think it's going to start to be banging on his confidence.
Yeah.
If he can just get that one performance where he opens up and sets up a couple, I mean, he's coming back from injury, he's probably a little bit underdone fitness-wise. He just needs that something to spark him, and hopefully it's this weekend. If he doesn't produce this weekend, I'm going to be very sad because...
I mean, you're playing the Titans. This is the week. So,
absolutely.
But the part I feel bad about is that everyone's talking about Riley Jacks getting in this week, and a big trade's going to be Croker to Jacks. I've got Croker. I'm thinking more getting JT to Riley Jacks. Like, Croker's going to get 80 minutes. He hasn't looked flash. I've actually liked a lot of his play, but he just seems to be obviously that second fiddle to DCE. But JT's pissing me off that much that I'm thinking more that trade. I don't know.
I think if he didn't play 13, a lot more people would do it. And I guess, it's a bit of a shame with Croker because he's a sort of like Blake Green. You know, he's doing some really good things, but it's just Supercoach-wise, it's not translating. So it's one of those things. I would have loved to have done that this week, but it won't happen.
Mate, Fafita's another hold. We talked obviously about the injuries. Wait until anyone who's got him, you bought him in for a reason. He covers round 13. He's been going big. Last week before halftime, he was going huge. He was going huge.
Yeah.
So wait until obviously Cronulla announced their team come game day this week. It is the last game of the round. It is the 4 o'clock game, which sort of sucks for everyone. But hold for this week. More will come out about his injury, and if he plays, you're going to look good. So a hold for Fafita, guys.
Absolutely a hold. I think he's a keeper till the end. I know I had my doubts. But he seems to be offloading the ball a heap more, and he scored 60 points in a very short amount of time on the weekend and was looking devastating, and thank fuck he got injured, to be honest.
Sell list?
Yeah, mate, so obviously Sammy's the top one. If you got Sammy, it's a no-brainer for me. He's been named at centre this week, but it doesn't change anything.
No.
It
may even drop him, like he finishes, he's a finisher.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't finish in the centres.
And who knows, I mean, he could be found out playing in a new position against the Cowboys this weekend. So, Sammy definitely sell, 106 break even. He's major money. This is sell high, buy low, sell high. This is exactly what it is.
Yep.
Bring in someone like a Rapana, bring in someone, if you've got an extra 50 or 100k in the bank, bring in an Aiken, bring in a... Use it now. This is sell. Do not hold Sammy. That would be my one recommendation. Mansour, I'm saying sell.
Yeah. Look, I've got him, and I'm going to sell to Crichton this week.
Yep.
It's a reluctant sell because I am a big Josh Mansour fan, but he hasn't been setting the world on fire. 4 to 6 weeks. Take the cash while you can. Even if you go a straight sideways to someone like Rapana or Roberts. We talked about Vunivalu and Josh Adokar, but I'm going to go the cash grab with Crichton and just hope that Crichton can maybe pinch a try or two against my guys this weekend.
Yep.
But yeah, definite sell.
Yep. Another one that's not necessarily a sell, but I'd mention him is Kickout. He's getting 80. He's maybe peaking in price. If he doesn't pump out a score this weekend, he could start to get some high break even. So he's a 51 break even this week.
Yeah.
I know he's a great player, but he's got to start scoring some tries or doing something.
He's made over 200k. Like, he's done the job we thought he would. We'd love him to become a keeper, but it doesn't seem that way.
I guess the issue for me is he seems like he could be a good player to have in your 17 for the next, once it could be one of those last upgrades. I feel like if I trade him out, there's still going to be weeks I regret it. But I also think I could trade him out now and bring in someone that I could keep till the end. So it's a catch-22. He'll still get those scores with 70s and stuff those certain weeks, but I still think there's going to be those weeks where he pumps out the 30s.
Yeah.
So it's a weigh it up. I think they don't play 13. He's probably not a keeper till the end. So maybe another one.
Yeah, fair enough.
And another one which I thought I'd just call you out on because you said you were going to bring him in last week, but you didn't. And thanks. You didn't. Mitch Moses, mate. Mitch Moses.
All right.
If you got him.
If you got him still, I don't know how. Look, I can understand the theory behind bringing him in because in the end I had it as well.
You also were going to bring in Fitzy, who went well.
Fitzy did, didn't he? Look, I didn't go Griffin to Fitzy last week.
Yeah. So it weighs it out.
I only went one trade last week. I can't even remember what it was. But Moses, look, just steer clear. Just until he tons up again, or Para do something, steer clear. I was wrong. Wrong.
Just want to call you out on that.
Yeah, that's right. Trades this week. I'm looking at either TPJ or Griffin to Tomalolo. I've got 200k in the bank, so that's for that. And again, Mansour Crichton. It's going to leave me 200k in the bank for future weeks. We'll just see what happens. But at the moment, they're the two ones on my radar. I'm not doing the Jacks thing. Again, I think Croker's still got a little bit of a rise in him. I look at this guy in the field and look, it is a plain player, but Manly is a team that can put 50 or 60 on teams, and I do see a week coming where he scores 70 or 80. If you can get a couple of those weeks in a row, I can still see rise in Croker.
I agree. Para this week as well, so
yeah.
I think, I agree. I wanted to get rid of him, but low break even and still hold him.
Yeah. What about yourself, mate?
Yeah, mate, so I'm going to get rid of Sammy.
Yep.
I'm going to get rid of Mansour. I think for me, I really wanted to get Tamalolo in. I could have done that if I wanted to. I really wanted to get Jacks in. I could have done that if I wanted to. But the issue with me was I was always pretty weak in the centres.
In the backs, yeah.
And Mansour was I went from Mitchell to Mansour, which has ended up being a howler. And Mansour being injured removes really the most venom that I had in my back line. The rest are sort of guys that are cows. So this week I'm looking to bring in a couple guys that we've mentioned. So Sammy to Rapana, and I'm pretty much sure I'm going to go Mansour to James Roberts, Jimmy the Jet.
Yep.
I mean, you have a look at their scores, and they do have 20s in them and have done that a couple of times this season. So a bit of a risk, but I just think they're guys I'll like to have in my side. If I came up against them in head-to-heads, they're guys I'd think,
Look,
so.
My only doubt with Jimmy the Jet, and I think he's a gun player, and I think he can, obviously we all know he can go large, is they play Melbourne this week, and their run in the next 3 or 4 weeks is not kind for the Broncos. It's not easy games. I think he looks better with Jack Bird at the half, Cody Nick coming on late in the round. I think it can be good. I think he could probably be a massive week. Yeah. But time will tell.
I think, I totally agree, and I probably normally wouldn't look at this trade because, I'd try and be a bit strong in my centres. Yep. I just think when I'm watching Brisbane at the moment, every time he gets the ball, I think he looks like one of the more dangerous ones. And I think, there's a couple tons maybe on the horizon. It's a big trade against Melbourne this week.
Yep.
But I still think he's dangerous. So we'll see what happens. I could massively regret it, but I'm going to put them down as keepers in my side for the rest of the year, and that's why I'm bringing them in. So.
But that's it this week, guys. Good luck to all the BJ on Game Day followers. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. We'll catch you all next week.
Thanks, guys.